to learn how Vimalakirti manages to combine true Buddhist wisdom and detachment with the life of the layman, how he can head a family, conduct business affairs, and fulfill his other obligations as a citizen of the city of Vaishali, and still remain faithful to the Bodhisattva ideal. The Vimalakirti Sutra, however, seems to delight more in confronting us with contradictions and dilemmas than in offering easy answers. It is a deliberately challenging text, one that utilizes all the drama, wit, humour, and persuasiveness of language it can summon up in order to waken us to new dimensions of thought, new levels of religious understanding and action of which we had previously been unaware. The Buddha was in the Amra Gardens in the city of Vaishali, accompanied by a multitude of leading monks numbering 8,000. There were also 32,000 bodhisattvas, all known to the assembly, persons who had carried out all the basic practices of great wisdom. Sustained by the might and supernatural powers of the Buddhas, they accepted and upheld the correct law in order to guard the citadel of the Dharma. They knew how to roar the lion's roar, and their fame resounded in the 10 directions. Without waiting to be asked, they befriended others and brought them comfort. They ensured the continuance and prosperity of the 3 treasures, making certain that these never expired. They conquered and subdued the ill will of the devils, and curbed the non-Buddhist doctrines. All were spotless and pure, having long ago rid themselves of snares and obstructions. Their minds constantly resided in a state of unhindered emancipation. Their mindfulness, meditation, retention of the teachings, and eloquence never faltered, and of almsgiving, keeping of the precepts, forbearance, assiduousness, meditation, wisdom, and the power to employ expedient means, there was not one they were deficient in. They had learned to accept the fact that there is nothing to be grasped at, no view of phenomena to be entertained. They knew how to respond compliantly to others, and to turn the unregressing wheel of the law, the Dharma, the teaching of the Buddha. Expert in comprehending the characteristics of phenomena, able to understand the capacities
Your
of
current
living
blood
beings,
glucose
they
is
towered over the
132.
others of the
It's
great
trending
assembly,
flat. Difference
and had
from last
learned
reading
to
is
be
minus
fearful
3.
of nothing. With their merits and wisdom they disciplined their minds. They adorned their bodies with auspicious signs, ranking foremost in aspect and form, but rejected all worldly embellishments. In fame and renown they soared higher than Mount Sumeru. Their profound faith was diamond-like in its firmness. The jewels of their Dharma shone everywhere, raining down sweet dew, and among the assembly the sound of their words was the most subtle and wonderful of all. They had plumbed the depths of dependent origination, and cut off all erroneous views, no longer entertaining the concepts either of being or non-being. In expounding the law, the Dharma, they were fearless as roaring lions, and their disquisitions on it rolled forth like thunder. There was no measuring them, for they had passed beyond measure. In seeking out the jewels of the Dharma, they were like practiced pilots at sea. They had mastered all the profound and subtle meanings of the doctrines, and were expert in perceiving the past and future existences of living beings and the workings of their minds. They came close to equaling the freely exercised wisdom of the Buddha, the unparalleled one, his 10 powers, his fearlessness, and his 18 unshared properties. Though they had firmly closed the gate to all manner of evil existences, yet they allowed themselves to be born in the 5 lower realms, manifesting themselves there so that they might act as great physician kings, adroitly healing the ills of others, doling out whatever medicine suited the ailment, and ensuring that the patient took it as prescribed.